Yo, Army Brothers for Life, man. This your boy Chino coming at you, aka the Bathroom Bandit. Um, I'm here to go over the recap, man. I was a little busy last week, going on very little sleep, man. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I wasn't able to do the weekly predictions like I normally do. This week I get back on track, but I'm gonna start up with the weekly recap for week 11. The first one was the Bandits versus Jack and Jokers. Jack and Jokers just came off his first victory, and I'm pretty sure he's pretty high about that. Not 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 sitting there trying to beat Griff's old record, but and I'm coming off a loss. My first loss of the season. He got his first win. I got my first loss. He trying to keep his streak going. I'm trying to stop my streak right there at one. Anyways, he scored 81 points. Jack and Jokers. I don't know who you were trying to beat with 81 points, but it wasn't going to be me. I got 178. It was nothing really much to talk about here. You had two guys that scored over 20 points. That was Stafford with 25 and your Titans defense with 23. On the other side, I had one, two, three, four guys score over 20 points. Two of them in the 30s. My record improves to 10-1. Jack and Jokers, you dropped to 1-10. Next matchup, G's Up versus Lou 904. Uh, this was originally projected to be a very close game. Turned out not so much. Lou pulls it out by 46 points, winning 156 to 110. You had a 3-7 record starting, and you really need to win out to make the playoffs. So this is your first step. You won this week. The big difference in this game, well, there's two huge differences. It was Cam Newton getting 42 for Lou, and Tony Romo getting 18 for G's Up. And the other big difference was the defense. Lou's defense, Ravens gave him 30 points, and G's Up, Eagles defense gave him 1 point. So those are the two determining factors in this victory. G's Up, you dropped to 7-4. Lou 904, you improved to 4-7, and stay in the fight. Next matchup, I Squat 1IP versus Memphis Bad Boys. Listen, last week Memphis Bad Boys snapped my winning streak, ended it at 9. And but this week he was going up against I Squat 1IP, who also was on his own 5-game winning streak. So Memphis Bad Boys came here with bad intentions. It didn't work out for him. I Squat 1IP outscored Memphis Bad Boys 151 to 112. And this was determined by the running backs. Memphis Bad Boys running backs Charkandrick West and Chris Ivory had 10 and 6, which total 16. And I Squat 1IP's running backs Rawls and McCoy had 55 and 26, which is 81. 81, 16, 81, 16. It's just a lot to make up right there. This was easy one for I Squat 1IP, based on the performances of Memphis Bad Boys running backs. You improved to 6-5. I Squad 1IP and Memphis Bad Boys. You dropped to 7-4. Next matchup: a lower dirtbag versus the Chosen One. Chosen One, 6-4 coming into this, and lower dirtbag also 6-4. Looks like he finally decided to set his lineup and drop that sorry ass tight end from New Orleans that he'd been having all year. He finally got a good tight end, and Crockett Gilmore gave him 21 points. He also had two more guys giving him over 20, uh, to add to his total score of 131. The Chosen One only scored 109, based on the simple fact that other than his his defense giving him 43 points, uh, his other players gave him nothing. He had 6 guys in single digits. His next highest score had 18 and 12. So that's not much of a team effort right there. Matter of fact, it's pretty pathetic. Um, you improved to 7-4, a lower dirtbag. The Chosen One, you dropped to 6-5. Next matchup: Team Princeton versus Siegel Street. Siegel Street, this is another guy that remembered to set his lineup this week. Um, and this was a very close game. This was the close game of the week. Team Princeton, you pull it out by just 4 points. And, looking at the lineup, there wasn't any one player that stood out other than your quarterback. Carson Palmer had 44 points. and Bortles had 15. So basically, your quarterback outscored his by 29 points, and you end up winning by 4. So that was a big deal when it came to the final score right there. There were other little things here and there, but that was the main one. Prankster, you improved to 5-6. Siegel Street, you dropped to 3-8, and you are officially out of the playoffs, my man. Next lineup, Picola I-10. Next matchup, Picola I-10 Hollers versus Raise Up. This the lowest scoring game of the week. This was a pretty pathetic performance by both guys. Picola I-10 Hollers won with 100 points. 100 points. If you played anybody else this week, anybody else except Jack and Jokers, who is the absolute worst fucking team in the league, if you played anybody else, you would have lost. But you happen to play Raise Up. 79 points is what Raise Up got you. Listen, man, I tried to, when I make deals, I get picked on a lot. People say, I'm a pimp or whatever you want to call me. I offered this guy Mark Ingram and Deshaun Jackson for Ty Gurley. I don't know how that's a trade rape or a pimp or whatever, but you got the number 2/number 3 running back in the league and Deshaun Jackson healthy. Deshaun Jackson put up 26 points, by the way, this week. Listen, he turned that shit down, and his receivers got him 2 points total. He had Rashard Matthews, Michael Floyd, who didn't even play, and Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin shouldn't be in anybody's starting lineup. He gave him 0 points. Michael Floyd was inactive, 0 points. Rashard Matthews, 2 points. Hey, he lost his game by himself, man. I don't know how the hell you plan on winning with those receivers in your starting lineup, but whatever. Pico I-10 Hollers, you improved to 6-5. Raise Up, you dropped to 4-7. You got to win out to make it to the playoffs. I don't know if you care or not. At this point, just looking at your lineup, I can tell you don't give a shit. But you do have to win out to even have a chance of making the playoffs. Let me go over. Go over the playoff race. We have the Baffin Bandits at 10-1 now. And then you have Memphis Bad Boys and G's Up both at 7-4. You got Lower Dirtbag at 7-4. So that's the top 4 right there. And then you have the Chosen One at 6-5. I Squat When I Pee at 6-5, and Picola I-10 Haulers at 6-5. Out of those 3, the Chosen One would drop down to the 7th spot because he put up the least points out of the 3 teams. So basically, I Squat When I Pee and Picola I-10 Haulers, as it stands right now in the playoffs, and the Chosen One is in the 7th seed. Now you got Team Princeton, Raise Up, and Lou, who are, Team Princeton is at 5-6, and Raise Up and Lou are at 4-7. Technically, at 4-7, they could still make the playoffs, but what has to happen is guys like Picola, I-10 Haulers, and I Squat When I Pee, they have to lose both of their last 2 games, and you have to win both of your last 2 games. So after this week is over, we'll be able to tell exactly who's in and who's not. As it stands right now, though, fellas, the only 2 teams that are officially out of the playoffs for good are Siegel Street and Jack and Jokers. Everybody else got a shot to make the playoffs. So what I suggest you motherfuckers do is go ahead, look at your lineups, set your motherfucking lineups based on matchups. Do the best you could do if you're trying to win this fucking Christmas money. Because if you don't, it's going to be teams out there that's taking it seriously that will. And you will lose your chance to make the playoffs. Once you're in the playoffs, man, it's one game elimination. You know what I'm saying? Single game elimination. So anything can happen. But you got to make the playoffs. So like I said, it's only 2 teams that's eliminated. It's 10 teams still in the fight. Do what you do. For the people who won this week, congratulations. And for the people who lost, better luck next week. I'll see you motherfuckers on a Friday, man. I'm going to do my weekly predictions this week. All right? Bathrooms run this bitch.